There's a day in some marriages that no one talks about. It doesn't come with shouting. It doesn't come with slammed doors. It doesn't even come with a final argument. It comes quietly. It's the day a man chooses peace over love. Not because he stopped caring. Not because he found someone else. Not because he suddenly became cold. But because something inside him got tired. Tired of defending himself. Tired of explaining himself. Tired of feeling like love always came with a cost. And what most people miss is this. That day doesn't start with him giving up on her. It starts with him giving up on the fight. In the beginning, he didn't want peace more than love. He wanted both. He wanted connection. He wanted laughter. He wanted touch that didn't feel forced. He wanted to feel respected in his own home. He tried. He adjusted his tone. He watched his words. He swallowed his pride. He apologized even when he wasn't fully wrong. Because to him, the relationship mattered more than his ego. But over time, something changed. Every disagreement became a character attack. Every mistake became proof that he wasn't enough. Every frustration turned into criticism instead of conversation. And slowly, love started feeling like emotional labor. Not warmth, not safety, labor. Most men don't shut down in one moment. They shut down piece by piece. The first piece goes when they stop bringing up what bothers them, because the last time they tried, it turned into a 2-hour argument. The second piece goes when they stop defending themselves, because no matter what they say, they're still the villain. The third piece goes when they stop asking for affection, because rejection, especially from the woman you love, doesn't just sting, it reshapes you. So he adapts. He becomes quieter. He becomes calmer. He becomes distant. And on the outside, it looks like maturity, but inside, it's withdrawal. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that changes a man. It's not physical, it's emotional. It's the exhaustion of walking into your own home and preparing for tension, of measuring your words before you speak, of feeling like peace only exists when you're silent. He notices something. When he doesn't argue, the house is calm. When he doesn't defend himself, the night is shorter. When he agrees, even if he disagrees inside, the storm passes faster. And that's when the shift begins. Not dramatic, not loud, just logical. If silence creates peace, then silence becomes the strategy. But here's the part that hurts. He still loves her. That's what makes it complicated. He still remembers who she was. He still remembers the early softness. He still remembers feeling chosen instead of tolerated. But love, when constantly tested, begins to feel unsafe. And men don't stay where they feel emotionally unsafe forever. Some leave physically. Others leave internally, and internal leaving is quieter. He still pays the bills, he still fixes what's broken, he still shows up to family events, but emotionally, he's no longer fighting for closeness. He's managing distance. The day he chose peace over love wasn't a dramatic decision. It was a calculation, a realization. He realized that every attempt at deeper connection led to conflict. Every vulnerable moment was later used against him. Every emotional expression was labeled as weakness, immaturity, or deflection. So he stopped offering those pieces of himself, not out of revenge, out of protection. Protection feels a lot like indifference from the outside, but inside him, survive.
Something else changes too. His expectations shrink. He stops expecting appreciation. He stops expecting intimacy. He stops expecting understanding. And when expectations disappear, so does disappointment. It's peaceful, lonely, but peaceful. He starts focusing on work more, on hobbies, on the gym, on anything that doesn't argue back. Because in those spaces, effort equals result. In his marriage, effort started equaling criticism. So he redirects his energy, not because he doesn't care, but because he's tired of caring alone. From her perspective, she might say he changed. He's not as affectionate. He's not as expressive. He doesn't chase her the way he used to. And she's right, he did change. But what most people miss is that change was a response. He didn't wake up one day less loving. He became less expressive after being dismissed. He became less vulnerable after being mocked. He became less romantic after being rejected. Slowly, quietly, over time. That's how emotional withdrawal happens. Not an explosion, an erosion. When a man chooses peace over love, it doesn't mean he doesn't feel. It means he feels too much and got tired of it hurting. He learns that arguing for understanding only creates more misunderstanding. He learns that defending himself only creates more accusations. He learns that sometimes the only way to keep the house calm is to keep himself small. So he shrinks, not physically, emotionally. And a shrinking man may still be present, but he's no longer fully there. The most dangerous part of this shift is how stable it looks. There are fewer arguments, less tension, less drama. From the outside, it might even look healthier. But what actually happened is this. He stopped trying to be known. He stopped trying to be heard. He stopped trying to be deeply connected. Peace replaced passion. Stability replaced intimacy. Routine replaced romance. And once a man becomes comfortable in emotion,
emotional distance, it's very hard to bring him back because now this feels safe.
Here's the truth many don't want to admit. Men can live without intense emotional connection. They don't thrive that way, but they can survive that way. And survival is easier than constant emotional conflict. So when faced with two choices, fight for love and risk more chaos, or choose peace and accept distance, some men choose peace. Not because love doesn't matter, but because their nervous system is exhausted, because their spirit is tired, because their heart has bruises no one sees. And the tragedy is this. By the time she notices he's emotionally gone, he's already adapted to life without that closeness. He's built routines that don't depend on her validation. He's lowered needs he once openly expressed. He's trained himself not to expect warmth. And rebuilding from that place takes more than one conversation. It takes safety. It takes accountability. It takes respect. Because peace without love is stable, but love without peace is chaotic. And eventually, every man chooses which pain he can tolerate. This isn't about blaming women. It's about understanding men. Many husbands don't cheat. They don't leave. They don't explode. They simply detach. They become polite roommates, functional partners, responsible fathers, but emotionally unreachable men. And the day they chose peace over love was the day they realized their emotional expression cost them too much. So they learned silence. If you're a man listening to this, you're not crazy. You're not weak. You are trying to protect yourself. And if you're a woman listening, ask when he started feeling unheard. Because most men don't leave love casually. They leave chaos. And sometimes they leave it without ever walking out the door. The day he chose peace over love wasn't dramatic. It was quiet. It was subtle. It was internal. But it changed everything. Not divorce, not betrayal, but quiet, emotional distance. And sometimes that hurt the most.